That was cool. Chapter 4. Oh man, this is beautiful. Such a nice day. When did it get so warm? I thought it was still winter. There's a breeze from over the water, making the leaves rustle gently. Everything smells nice. Why haven't I been taking advantage of this beautiful day? I should be out here walking along the waterfront. There is calm and peace and contentedness. Now I see how special this is. I think it wasn't always this way, but it's hard to tell. Yeah, I was thinking about this earlier today too. I'm starting to hear music in video games the way I haven't for a while. And I feel like this just started to change in the last year or two. Because ever since around like the GameCube era, I just don't hear music. Like if you play a song from a GameCube game, I'm not that likely to recognize it, and I always thought that was because video game music just got so ambient or whatever over the years, and so it got to a point where I just stopped even trying to recognize it. But then also part of the reason for that might be because I always played with the TV turned way down, and now I'm starting to play with it turned up again. I'm starting to play with headphones, which I've never done before. And that's really sort of, I feel like it's awakened me a little bit to music in video games. Even in this one, the music in this is really nice. I don't know if that means that 6 months later you could play a song from this game and I'd be able to tell you, oh yeah, that was Eliza. I don't know. Because I hear songs that I don't recognize, and then somebody said, oh, that's Zelda Twilight Princess, and I'm like, what? You know, and that's like, when did this happen, you know? I don't know. When was that? I can't remember. So I wonder if, like, that's what's happening to her here now. Like, after having that conversation with Ray, maybe she's starting to feel alive again in that way. And more, like, more acutely aware of her surroundings. This moment in time seems to stretch to infinity. It has always existed. It will always exist. Unchanging, perfect. The surface of that lake is such a brilliant blue. A blue I could lose myself in. Forever blue. An electric blue on my knees.
Well, what do you think?
What's up, perv?
It was nice. It was like I could close my eyes and feel myself
Oh,
in
well,
another
it was
place.
the virtual thing. Oh, man. I thought I was really there. You... Okay. Alright, that's fine, whatever. I got some good introspective thoughts out of it. Maybe that's what matters in the end. Okay, alright.
But I didn't completely lose awareness of the real world. It was more like a mental state that I was experiencing.
Yeah.
Remarkable technology, isn't it? I've had others who tried it tell me it's akin to a state of higher consciousness. Aware but totally serene, totally peaceful.
Smoke weed every day. Soren retrieves a bottle of whiskey, without an E, from a liquor cabinet and serves himself.
Here's a thought experiment for you.
Did you just call me a thought? I'm not funny, I'm sorry.
Say there was a certain medical procedure that could remove your suffering. No side effects, no cost, just an operation that would make you permanently happy.
Operation? What?
Would you get it?
I don't know. It depends on what you mean by happy. Because I have good days, I have bad days, but I certainly... Like, I think the obvious problem here being that if you were always happy, you would never be. Because you would be so used to it, it would become normal to you. Like, you have to have a scale, you know?
You have these philosopher types arguing you shouldn't do that because sadness and suffering are part of what it means to be human. Or that the happiness you'd experience isn't real, so it doesn't count somehow.
See, I don't care about that because, like... Because all life really is, at the end of the day, is just us perceiving stuff anyway. So, you change the perception, you change reality, don't you, kind of? Or I don't know if there's, like, an ethical problem with that, I don't know.
What a load of bullshit. If there was something effective at taking my pain away, and otherwise harmless, I would take it immediately. I refuse to believe that being alive means having to suffer.
I kind of agree. His voice is getting so ragged. How many drinks did he have before I came here?
Oh, forgive me, I forgot to ask. Would you like some scotch as well?
No, and hold the oysters while you're at it, because I know you probably got some of those in your freezer, too. I'm okay.
I'm okay.
Soren holds up the bottle, examining it.
The Glencadam. Beautiful, light, luminous taste. Not peaty at all. Lovely stuff.
Does it help?
Ah, if only psychotherapy worked as well as a single glass of well-made whiskey, huh?
Are you saying it doesn't?
If alcohol wasn't poison, I wouldn't have to invent anything now, would I?
Ah, well, you get a good point there.
I do think we did some good work at Skanda, but I always knew there were going to be limits to the Eliza approach. I was a counseling psychologist for a long time, you know. I understand the shortcomings better than anyone. So much of it can feel like a waste of time, talking through everything, dredging up the past over and over again, trying and failing to change our habits and routines. It's all going to look completely ineffectual compared to what comes next. With direct stimulation and induced dreaming, we can take control of our own brains in a way that's never been possible before. There's no reason we couldn't just eliminate this epidemic of despair for everyone in the world. Imagine it. Anger, depression, emptiness, anxiety, jealousy, every kind of unhappiness you can think of, obsolete.
Okay, alright.
And to think Raynor wanted nothing to do with this.
He thought it was a bad idea.
Raynor's one of the ones who thinks negative emotions are important. He told me he thinks pain should be regulated, not eliminated. After all, why would anyone write a poem or make art if they only felt happiness? He also said he was afraid of the way it would look in the media. A company as large as Skanda coming out with a product that changes the brain to make you happy. All the sorry excuses we have for public intellectuals today would throw a fit about how dystopian it looked to them. It's better if a small startup takes the fall, if public opinion turns against this technology. That's the kind of calculus he was doing.
Ah, I see.
Those are the objections he claimed to have, at least. There's another one I suspect he had too, though. If people are self-sufficient, they don't need an ongoing support system. A system provided by an all-knowing paternalistic presence like Skanda.
Wait, you think Raynor wants people to stay miserable so they stay dependent on mental health services from his company?
Yes. Yes, I do.
I mean, he doesn't have to try very hard. Most of them are miserable anyway.
It's quite the accusation, I know.
That's not the point, but...
Not something I'd come out and say in public, not yet, anyway. But you see, the people who come to Eliza regularly, it's part of their lives now. The more they integrate with Skanda's mental wellness tools, the more they'd be adrift without them. That's the real dystopia, don't you think? Rendered helpless without the guidance of computer algorithms. Total dependency on the system.
Yeah, see, I get what he's saying here, though. Yeah, because the whole time he's been talking about this whole thing of, like, you know, computer programs that make you happy and whatever, but it's like, what happens when you go back to your life? You know, if you're miserable and that's based on something objective, something verifiable, something measurable, that it's not going to change. That's still going to be there, and you're still going to have to deal with it.
Excuse me for 1 second.
think you could ask about Damien? I don't know if now is the best time for that, but what do you want to know? You're asking me to describe him? Well, he was hot. He was blonde. He was in a boy band. He was a brilliant software architect and engineer. One of the most sincere people I ever met. I feel like sincere is one of the nicest compliments you can give a person. He believed people were fundamentally good and wanted to help them. Our digital therapy product wasn't a mandate from management. We started it ourselves. Damien went through some difficult times himself. He wasn't able to get the care he needed. That's why he wanted to change things. I wish he'd gotten the chance. What happened? How did he die? Sometimes when I'm working late and I doze in the office, I have dreams about him. Never met him, but it's like I sense his presence there, like he encoded himself into the system in some way. I know it's just my mind playing tricks on me. I don't believe in ghosts. That's the thing. It's a computer program, but at the end of the day, it's made by humans. A computer doesn't just make something by itself. But this sounds a little more literal than that, though. Like he's saying actual dreams about the guy. I don't know. Even something like sensing his presence sounds awfully strange. I don't know. This stuff is way more complicated than even I imagined it would be. Like, I thought this was going to be like the perfect game for me to commentate to, but man, I feel like I'm a little bit out of my league here. Soren likes this style of decor. I forgot what it was called. It's called ass chaps. Anyway, or alcohol. Seems restrained for him. Maybe he's cut back. Wow. Reminds me of the art in the counseling room. I was going to say, it kind of does, doesn't it? Knowing Soren, this is probably by some famous artist, and it cost him a fortune. I can see it across the way, too. I would never be able to live in an apartment like this, like, because you'd never be able to just walk around naked, you know, without people seeing you. People get to see every little thing that you do. I don't know, man. Well, continue. Soren comes back in the room and immediately pours himself another glass of whiskey. The lack of E in whiskey must be intentional. He doesn't seem to notice he's filled it almost all the way to the top.
Evelyn, I really think you, of all people, might understand what I'm trying to do here.
I get it.
I get it, but you don't think it's dangerous. You're essentially making technology that changes what people think is real.
Evelyn, you're much more concerned than you used to be about this kind of thing.
Well, then that explains why I left, doesn't it?
I remember when you would dive headfirst into anything that held a promise, even a fleeting one, to help humanity. What changed your mind to make you so wary, so skeptical now?
Can I ask you something, Soren? What did you tell Damien?
Oh no, boy, oh boy. If ever there were a time for a cliffhanger. I'm just gonna see.
Oh, this again.
Oh, this again. Cliffhanger there. You don't stop talking.
Don't tell me we had all of this wonderful conversation tonight, and now you're trying to blame me for Damien. Who put you up to this? Was it Nora? Raynor?
I just want to know the truth, Soren.
Nobody thought we could do it. You remember that. There was skepticism from day one. I had to defend us constantly from other project managers who didn't like that we existed, who wanted our budget and resources for themselves. Some of those were vicious, vicious fights. Amid all that, I had to be a leader, too. Part of that meant giving everyone on the team accurate information. So I was honest in saying there were forces that sought to kill our project. And I was honest when I said we'd never survive if we didn't have something to show for our work. That was the reality. Without a product, we would be nothing.
You're saying he overworked himself to death?
A guy like Raynor has access to anything he wants. If your pitch and demo isn't in the top 1% of what's out there, why would he be interested? That's what we were up against.
So many mornings, I would get into work and see Damien there. At first, I thought he was getting up earlier than me, but then I noticed he was still wearing the same shirt from the day before. Then, one morning, I got in and...
Evelyn, please. I wanted everyone on the team to be healthy. I think that's so obvious it doesn't need to be said, but I'll say it now if you think I was deliberately trying to harm him. Did I instruct you to work until you injured yourselves? No, absolutely not. It was a tragedy, and I'm very sorry that it happened. I wish it hadn't. But I wasn't telling Damien to pull all-nighters. He was an adult. He made his own decisions about how he was going to work. And besides, what about your role in all this? If you noticed him not taking care of himself, you could have mentioned it. None of that behavior was unusual for Skanda anyway. It was part of our reputation, part of the culture. There isn't a single cause you can isolate in a case like this.
Sitting in one place for too long. Chronic stress. Both of those are risk factors.
Evelyn, I'm truly, truly sorry about what happened to Damien. He had a bright future, and it was a shock to all of us. But the answers here aren't simple ones. Dwelling on it isn't going to bring him back, nor is discussing the huge number of potential causes of pulmonary embolism.
Oh.
It happened, and now we have to move on.
It felt like everything stopped. All of the work we were doing might as well have crumbled into dust.
These music cues have been pretty on point here, I gotta say.
We were trying to build something to help the world, and we got lost along the way. What was the point? There didn't seem to be a point any longer.
I know that you cared about him. The process of grief can go on for some time, but you're taking the right steps. You're regaining your sense of purpose, aren't you? The experience of suffering is what makes us want to end suffering. It's late and I've had quite a bit to drink, so I'll tell you a secret, Evelyn.
Oh, spill the beans.
I said I want to end human suffering, which makes me sound very altruistic. But I'm not doing it for humankind. I'm doing it for myself. I have nothing. I've ruined every relationship I was ever in. I hardly ever see my kids, and, well, they hate me anyway. I want to end my own suffering, but I can't bring myself to do it the traditional way. That's why I've pursued this technology. That's why I want it to exist. The idea that everyone else could use it too, it's just a bonus.
Is he talking about, like, going into the virtual world and then just dying there? Like, while you're inside of it? I mean, I know it's not like a virtual world. It's not what they're really saying, but... But, like, I thought I was there, so... Ugh.
Soren, are you okay?
No, not at all. I'm aware of that. I'm not a good person, Evelyn. Neither is Raynor, of course, but at least I'm honest with myself about that. So, now that that's all out in the open, you probably want to head home before it gets too late. Don't let me keep you.
Yes, I'll get going. I hope you can feel better.
No, I'll be fine. Just, please, consider it, Evelyn. You and I are both more familiar with pain than we might wish to be. What if you could take that away? Each of us has a destiny to fulfill. I truly believe that. I'm sure yours will come into focus soon.
I cannot pull myself away from this game. It's almost 2 in the morning. Yeah, wow, man. Is the promise of that new technology really all that keeps him going? mean, we all have different things that keep us going. Alright, so who we got on the train here today? Let's see, we got Black Panther over here, we got George Michael here. It's probably Bob Marley right there, it's hard to tell without the face. And last but not least, Benicio del Toro. I don't know. Is it Vinicio or Benicio, or am I getting the total name wrong? Security. I think I've seen this person before. We must have a similar commute. Maybe he works at Skanda too. Some days it feels like the whole city does. How's it going, Joe Ma? I didn't know you were still alive. He's watching something and smiling to himself. Oh. It's a cat video. Oh, I thought it was gonna be like a video of his girlfriend or something. Wow, voice crack much. Well, I guess we better check our own phone here. We have... There's no need to rush. There goes me on the train way back there. Swift Mail, how are we doing? Hello, it's Skanda. We continuously strive to provide meaningful, empowering work environments for all individuals. Then we periodically surveys group in order to better understand. Survey for how do you like your job? Nobody ever answers those. All good things. This sounds ominous. Well, everyone, today is my last day at Skanda. What can I say? It's the end of an era. When I joined this place, it was just a hope, a dream, a vision. To stop, look back, and see just how much we've accomplished in the last 2 decades is mind-boggling, to say the least. To miss the old crew and everyone who's in churches with me. Oh, this is that guy. This is the guy I talked to. Because his name was Mark, right? I don't know if the last name matches up, but... This doesn't sound like... Well, I mean, he says I'll miss the old crew and everyone who was in the trenches with me. You know who you are. Wish I could say it was all smooth sailing, but as with any job, there were times of friction, yeah. Thanks for being the best engineering team in the world. I'm proud to have served alongside you. Excelsior. I don't know, this sounds a little too nice, considering how he seemed to feel when he talked to me. Like, he's definitely sugarcoating it. I don't know, though, like... I guess you want to have good references. You don't want to go out, you know, leaving a trail of fire in your wake, do you? Oh, man. Oh, every time the train ramps up and gets louder, it, like, makes me anxious. Can we just be home already? Oh, time to get to work. Oh, I guess we're not sleeping tonight. Oh, whatever. It's just the next day. Alright, baby. Time to talk to some patients. Hello again, Casanova. How's it going, dude?
Hello, Harriman.
Yes. We can just get down to it.
Alright.
Sure, we can do that.
Like, how many different ways are there to say that? We can get down to it. Let's just get started. Let's get on with this. You would have to have a computer that could recognize any one of those sayings. Of course, when you think about how many different ways there are to say it, there could be a million. But I guess that's nothing to a computer as long as eventually you got to all 1 million of them. What brings you here?
What brings you here today?
What happened? Did you go to ask her out and then she farted on you or something?
It's okay to tell me what's on your mind.
Well, I slept with Sylvia.
Oh, damn! Casanova!
To think I was so nervous about approaching her that I went and got therapy here. A week later, we happened to be in the library, and I just started talking with her. We talked and talked, and then everything just happened. Like a train, following tracks laid out for it years ago.
And before we find out later on that he, like, forced himself on her or something like that. Ugh. I don't like to think things like that, but That's just the kind of twist that they would put into one of these games, though, you know?
Crazy thing. Craziest thing. Now I'm confounded. Absolutely confounded. How did that happen? And also, why did it happen? I'm thinking, was something wrong? Did I do something wrong? Did she do something wrong? Did she think I was another person? I have no idea if we have a relationship now or what. It happened so fast. I mean, it was wonderful. It felt so right, but now what? I'm actually more frightened now than I was before. I should probably say something, right? Text her or something? What do I do? What if she ignores me? What if she decides to pretend I don't exist?
Dude, you gotta say something. I mean,
It seems to me you're afraid of something.
Yes. I'm quite worried. Vexed. Terrified, really. What do? I need to say something. Follow up somehow, right? In the Heian period of classical Japanese history, you were supposed to send a poem. A morning after poem.
a morning after poem.
Is that too stuffy? I don't appear like some ridiculous court noble.
No, fine, I'll just get the computer to write one for you, you know?
Something casual is better, right? Hey, how are you? Did you have fun? I sure did. Oh, I don't know. I don't know what a stat it is right now. There's another problem too. Another really big problem. How do I tell Liz?
No. Oh, no. He's married.
Wait, of course, I'm not going to tell her. That would hurt her. Did I mention this last time? I have a sort of girlfriend.
Oh, well, that's not nearly as bad, but still, dude, you're cheating on her?
Liz is nice. The kind of person everyone approves of. Well, I should probably marry her. Yeah. I suppose I might have taken a bit of a sledgehammer to the pillars of my life at the present moment.
Once again, things that could have been brought to my attention yesterday.
Why did I do that?
Why did you do that?
I keep coming back to my own inability to explain myself.
It's because your dick was hard. That's all it is.
Why do you think you're unable to explain yourself?
She must be so disgusted with him right now.
Well, because I thought Sylvia was so wonderful, and it turned out that she liked me too, and I mean, I'd love to pursue a relationship with Sylvia without harming Liz. I'm not sure that's possible though, right?
No, it's not.
I can't believe this. I got what I wanted and it ruined my life.
Well, I just burped, so I guess that makes us even.
What do I tell Liz? She doesn't deserve someone like me who does things like this.
Well, I mean, at least you can see that.
I ruined it. Ruined everything.
He already just did.
Can you describe what you mean when you say you ruined everything?
The computer doesn't understand this.
Well, what is there left now? I've overturned my entire existence in one night. The real problem here is Sylvia, the whole situation with her. I can't stop thinking about her now. It's bad. Oh, it's bad. It's constant. It's relentless. Even now, I can still feel her, smell her. You're a computer. You don't know what that's like, do you? I need a way to forget this. I need a way to put all that out of my mind. My brain is completely out of order. I'm being punished. And the punishment reaches cosmic levels of irony for me. Do you know why? I used to hate, absolutely hate, self-pitying novels by men who were messed up over a relationship and couldn't get over it. Oh, she was wild and beautiful. Oh, a force of nature. Nobody could understand her, etc., etc. I thought I was so much better than those types of writers. And now? Oh, yes, I get it. Oh, I understand it now. So much pain.
All the love songs make sense, right? When it happens to you.
Why did you think you were so much better than those types of writers?
Because it was such a cliche. Now I'm wondering, am I going to be next? Is that my fate? Am I going to become the next straight, male English professor whose one published novel is about not being able to get over a girl? Ugh, you have to be kidding me. I can't allow myself that fate. I had something better to pursue, didn't I? I have to write about something else. My life has to be the story of something else, but I don't know where to go from here. I need to try to get over this. I need to get over her. I must. Yes, I must. There's no way I'm going to let this ruin everything. If I tell Liz everything and apologize sincerely and strike the memory of Sylvia from my mind, I still might save this.
That's probably the best thing that you can do at this point, but there's no guarantee.
It will take great care and cunning, but I may be able to wend my way through this treacherous path I now find myself upon.
Unless she's into the whole poly thing, you never know.
even though I fear at any moment I might slip and tumble into the crevice below. Dead. Dead. Never seen or heard from again.
Wow, what's the computer gonna say to that?
Oh, sweet, dark death.
It's gonna prescribe him some anti-suicide pills or something.
Harlan,
Meadowlands.
I'm going to suggest you try a program called Meadowlands. It may help you take your mind off things.
Is that not the same thing I'd prescribed last time?
You can find it inside the Skanda Wellness app on your phone.
I almost can't help but think, though, he doesn't really care about this part of it.
Try it for about 15 minutes each day, in the morning or evening.
Meadowlands. I'm off to the Meadowlands. Familiar ground, grass and warmth. Reverting to my childhood, the state of nature. Yeah, this is a good recommendation. Yes, you are a genius, in fact. You, a computer program, wiser than you know. I'm sure this is exactly what I need. To revert to a state of wonder at this moment when the mundane world and all its entanglements seem too much to bear.
Why does it sound like you're trying to advertise the company to me?
You will get a reminder to check in with us in a few weeks.
I feel like they're sending in these people to try to convince me to get back on the team. I felt that way with a few of them now.
I'll be back sooner than that if this works.
We hope to see you back soon, Harmon.
I don't know, though.
Thank you for speaking with Eliza, your personal counseling partner.
It's been a pleasure.
Goodbye.
See you. Yes, yep, see you.
See you, Casanova. Three stars? Good lord. Woo! I just leveled up again. I don't feel like I'm earning this at all. It's just whatever. I think that's also part of it, though. They want you to feel unfulfilled, you know, but I'm not supposed to keep it confidential, and I will, but sometimes I really wish I could talk to people about the clients that come through here. Evelyn, hey, how'd that last client go? Just closed the next round of funding, Asia Pacific Investment Group. They're keenly interested in this technology. Imagine the potential size of the Asian market for something like this. Oh, congratulations. I'll be nice. Thanks. Anyway, of all the projects I've worked on, I have a strong feeling about this one that it's going to go far. I don't know what I want to do. All he wants is to quantify everything. He'll never understand there are some things you can't reduce to a number. How are you feeling right now? 1, 5, 2.3? Is it 5 out of what? 50? 100? See, it's ridiculous. The idea that feelings can be reduced to these simple data points. Glad I don't work for him anymore. Direct stimulation provides much more rich, complex information. So many ways to study it, too. Imagine what you could do with a corpus of raw sensations. No, I stopped paying attention a while ago. I'm so wishy-washy sometimes, I know. Heading into another meeting. Chat with you later. Yep. Later indeed. Plant. I hope this one is getting enough light in its corner there. Looks a little lonely. His experience as a grad student is nothing like the one I had. How does he even have time for that stuff? Don't know, man.